lucky handful of us have actually gotten to see the sight of the large and majestic buildings gloriously crashing down in person. But it's nothing to be sad about, since we live in the 21st century, where we can witness these marvels through the safety and comfort of our homes, and mind you, even sometimes from different angles. At the edge of your seats already? Well, buckle up, because this two-part series will be a great visual adventure. Number 5, the UIC Building. Coming in at number 5 is the UIC Building in Singapore. This gigantic building, towering at just about 152 meters, was also very beautiful. In fact, at the time when it was built, which was 1973, the UIC Building, or more correctly, the United Industrial Corporation Limited Building, was the tallest structure in the city-state and one of the tallest buildings in the Southeast Asia. Plus, the building was renovated in 1986 and was given a new concrete front in the brutalist style of architecture. So, why was it demolished, you're asking? Well, you see, this building, just like most other building demolitions, was making space for a new building. Yeah, so it turns out that the property was demolished for a building called V on Shenton. However, something interesting happened while this was going on. The building literally collapsed. Yeah, while it was being demolished, the building collapsed, and it seemed like it had severely injured an otherwise innocent man. The Singapore Civil Defense Force, the SCDF, has confirmed that all 19 workers on site, including the injured worker who was sent to the Singapore General Hospital before the SCDF team arrived, have been accounted for. The good news is that the injured man only seemed to have suffered minor back injuries, which still isn't that good. But hey, it's better than anything like really severe. And that's not even the end of it. Since 4 of the floors it contained had collapsed, it was no surprise that even a whole excavator was seen flipped on its side. But right now, the Vian Shenton building is fully done and accessible to the public. Number 4, the Deutsche Bank. Haha, New York City. It's full of life, love, and so many other qualities, like its great architecture. From simple hotels to large offices, everything looks great in New York, which is why it's number 4 on our list, and that place goes to the Deutsche Bank. See, this bank is situated in Manhattan, and the building is 158 meters tall. That's about 42 stories. The building was fully completed by 1974, but unlike our previous one, this one got demolished a lot quicker. And the reason for that is not so full of joy. You see, it was because during the 9/11 attacks, the building was also damaged by it. The collapse of 2 World Trade Centers tore a 24-story gash into the facade and destroyed the entire interior of the building. Steel and concrete were sticking out of the building for months afterwards. This was eventually cleaned up, but it was decided that the 42-story ruin was to be taken down. After the 9/11 attacks, netting that had the appearance of a black burial shroud was placed around the remains of the building. The bank maintained that the building couldn't be restored to habitable condition, while its insurers sought to treat the incident as recoverable damage rather than a total loss. Working on the building was deferred for over 2 years, during which the condition of the building deteriorated. In March 2007, the demolition went underway. However, development was put on hold as a result of a fire on August 18th of 2007. A city stop work order was lifted in April of 2008, and decontamination work began again in May of the same year. Cleanup operations resumed after a city stop work order was withdrawn. However, when a 22-foot portion of pipe being cut by workmen dropped over 35 stories and through the roof of the 10 house, which housed Engine 10 and Ladder 10 of the New York Fire Department, work was stopped on May 17, 2008. Despite avoiding being struck by the pipe itself, 2 firefighters were hurt by debris. Currently, though, the demolition has finished and it's been pretty successful. But still, it seems like this place has had to face a lot of problems, and I hope that everything's gonna be okay. Number 3, Morrison Hotel. Number 3 on our list is the Morrison Hotel in Chicago. First off, Chicago is a wonderful place, filled with beauty in all 4 directions. I mean, just look at this place outside. It looks so cool. And plus, it's not just for show either. It's a fully functional hotel. That being said, it ain't also on this list for no reason. This thing is a giant, coming in at 160 meters tall and having 45 floors. Now, this was both built and demolished a long time ago. I mean, it was completed in the year 1925, and it was demolished in the year 1965. Why was it demolished? Well, just like the first one, and something we'll see again, this was done to make way for another building called the Chase Tower. which is said to have been built up to a staggering 265-meter length. I mean, it does look like an awesome skyscraper, but if I were to choose, I'd say that we want to see the hotel rather than the skyscraper. Number 2, CPF Building. Let's head back to Singapore, shall we? Back in this legendary place, there is a high-rise skyscraper called the CPF Building. It housed the headquarters of the Central Provident Fund Board, or in short, the CPF. The building is surprisingly 171 meters and has approximately 46 floors. The building was completed and given access to the public in 1976, and the demolition was pretty recent, taking place in 2018. Now, as I teased before, this one was also demolished to make way for a new building. Although it's quite interesting, as this new building was said to be redeveloped into a 29-story office tower and finished by 2020. In November of 2015, the building was sold to a company for $550 million. The last tenant moved out on the 20th of February in 2017. The CPF Building is therefore both the tallest building ever voluntarily demolished outside of New York City and the tallest building to ever be voluntarily demolished and replaced by a shorter building. So, judging by that, you can take a guess on what our last and final building's nationality is going to be. Number 1, Singer Building. The Singer Building, commonly referred to as the Singer Tower, was an early skyscraper or an office building built in 1908 in Manhattan, New York City. The new building was considered to be an engineering feat, towering over the city. In Lower Manhattan's financial district on the northwest corner of Liberty Street and Broadway stood the Singer Manufacturing Company's headquarters. The structure was commissioned by Frederick Gilbert Bourne, the head of the Singer Company, and it was designed by Ernest Flagg between 1897 and 1908 across many phases. The Beaux Arts and French Second Empire styles were included in the design of the structure. Now, here's the crazy part. The building was said to be about 187 meters long. That's really, really long. And another fun fact, this was actually the tallest building in the world from 1908 to 1909. The building was demolished in 1968, again to make way for the One Liberty Plaza, which is said to be about 226 meters with 56 floors of its own. But before that, it had actually been sold before. It is said that in 1961, it was sold to a company called Webb & Knapp, and then in 1964, it was sold to the United States Steel and was called the United States Steel Building. And then after the demolition, the building of the One Liberty Plaza had finally started. And that brings us to the conclusion of the video. We bet you enjoyed it, cause, well, I mean, you did make it to the end. So turn that frown upside down, cause this video has an equally great sequel for all y'all to enjoy. But for now, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so that you can be notified the next time that we upload. And also to catch part 2. Comment down below any suggestions or your favorite parts of the video. But currently, we'll see you next time, or, in the next one, whatever. Later.